What's up, nerds? What's up, nerds? Goz Master here with another Magic the Gathering puzzle quest. Today's quest, Commodore Guff. We're going to be talking about the new tricolor walker available for $29.99 American USD dollars. Available in the vault right now. Very excited to share this with you. I can't believe it. This is unprecedented. It wasn't in the set and very exciting. We got a brand new red, white, and blue walker. Let's get right into it. Before we do, as always, a big shout out to WEBCORE. WEBCORE, thank you guys so much for giving me access to this walker early to be able to practice with him, play with him, and most importantly, to the guys and gals inside of the places where we communicate. You guys know who you are, the L crew, so we can have conversations about what's going on. It's really awesome to be able to connect with you guys, and I appreciate all that you guys are doing at WEBCORE. You guys are doing a great job. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Seriously. Thank you. It's amazing. All right, with that said, let's get right into it. First off, for $29.99, you get the crystals, you get the jewels, you get 3 packs, 1 of each color, and then you get the walker themselves. But most important, Ho Daddy.
Ho Daddy.
Hero of Dominaria Daddy, or Ho Daddy as I like to call him. Teferi, Hero of Dominaria, one of the absolute most powerful, if not the most powerful Vanguard in Standard, and absolutely a legacy impacting card. Listen to me, young crunks. Listen to me, young players, noobs, get goods, get in here. I got to talk to you about something. Listen, man. So this year, we're going to have our first rotation that we've had in 2 years. It'll happen in September for paper and October for a puzzle quest, because it usually takes about a month before we get a set live versus what happens in paper. So why am I telling you this? Because the sets that are going to rotate out are going to be Midnight Hunt, what's the other one? Innistrad, Crimson Vow. You're going to lose Streets of New Capenna. Oh, big tear, fat tear coming down my face for the loss of New Capenna. And we're also going to lose Kamigawa. So we're going to lose those 4 sets, allegedly. If they follow the 3-year rotation, that'll be the card sets that drop out. We'll have 2 new sets between now and then. Outlaws of Thunder Junction and 1 more, I believe. Yeah, I think 1 more that will be hitting us on the streets then. When that new set rotates in, these 4 sets will rotate out. This card itself, Teferi, Hero of Dominaria, Ho Daddy, is actually one of those cards is going to be rotating out. Now, why I'm so adamant about you getting this card, whether you pick this up with Guff or if you get it on its own or if you already have it, this card can help you compete in legacy events. How do I know? Because I have an alt account that runs this, and Tamamio, the Tamio Vanguard, field researcher, it runs both of those, and it competes in events legacy-wise with those cards, absolutely. So you definitely want to have this card, and for the low bargain price of $29.99 American USD dollars, and not have to waste hundreds and hundreds and hundreds or thousands of pinks like many of us have to try to get this, you just get to get it and pick up a pretty cool walker at the same time. If that isn't a sales pitch, bro and Mo, I don't know what to tell you about this. This is pretty good. All right, let's get back to the walker themselves. Commodore Guff. He has 113 life when you have him fully healed. I'll go ahead and fully heal him now. So he's 113 life, solid life total. He's got 3 abilities. He's got Meddling with Fate, which is 10 loyalty. Pick 2 of the first 4 cards from your library. Fetch those cards. Then reduce the cost of each Vanguard card in your hand by 6. Pretty solid. That's a solid little ability. 12 loyalty for 8 red wizards tokens. I'm going to go ahead and show you the wizard now. The red wizard is Creature Detective Wizard. It's a 1/2. But that's not really it. What really matters is it has activate 2 red. If you with 2 red, you convert X gems to red. X is this creature's power. Well, you're casting 8 of these bad boys. You're going to have an 8 power creature. So you're going to convert 8 gems to red. If you only do this once, what happens if you do it twice? Well, that would be 16, 24, etc. Because I can't do the math. So that's pretty crazy, and it is abusable, and it's a lot of fun, and it winds up being, you can play this guy in 3 different ways. And then 15 loyalty for Titan's Might, very inexpensive, I like that. Your non-simple supports gain 4 shield. So, wording. So simple gems are treasures, food, gold, and not those. All those gain 4 shields. All your vanguards, all your regular supports that have shield count, anything that's impacted by how many shields have that's impacted by this. You want to make sure you have shields on the board first. Yeah, it's kind of worthless if you don't. This effect can affect vanguard supports as well. Deal X damage to each opposing creature. X is the sum of the shields of all supports you control. You may activate vanguard abilities again this turn. So you activate your vanguard abilities, push this button, activate your vanguard abilities again. go do the things. 3 plus 3 to white, plus 4 to blue, plus 4 to red, minus 2 to red and or to green and black. What do I think so far? Early play things before we get into it. I'm very excited about this. I'm going to be answering a question very honestly with you guys. Is this Walker better than Narset? And I know my fellow content creators are going to have their own feedback on that based on the chats we've already had. I have a different perspective, which I'll be talking about here shortly, but just strictly from what I started with, which is getting Ho Daddy.
Oh, Daddy.
Daddy, chill.
What the hell was even that?
Yeah, this is solid just for that alone. But let's get into the Peasant build, shall we?
In the great hall of the Justice League, there are assembled the world's 4 greatest heroes, created from the cosmic legends of the universe. Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman, Aquaman,
Ooh, Koth sucks!
Now, just because of the color schemes, you know, everybody's going to be going out and building all kinds of cool, fun, powerful, all the regular stuff, right? I wanted to have some fun. So I invited all of my super friends. It's Commodore Guff and his super friends. Teferi, Hero Dominaria. Tamamio, field researcher. We got Dahara, Binder of Wills. We've got Koth, of course, because we like the red stuff. And then Karn, Scion of Urza. We'll walk through that. Kaito, Dancing Shadow for some creature builds. Kaya, Intangible Slayer, so we can get some stuff. Steam Core Scholar, I want to spotlight this card. This card's actually a serious card. 12 mana, somebody turned me onto this inside of my Discord. If you guys aren't in the Discord, you should get in the Discord because we get little gems like this all the time. Flying, Vigilance, level, 2/2 blue, weird. It is a weird detective. When this creature enters the battlefield, discard 2 cards and draw 2 cards, so it helps fund the yard. When you draw a card during your turn, increase this level by 1. At the end of your turn, you gain X mana, X and X loyalty. X is this card's level. We want to be cramming into our loyalty. This is a dope little powerful card. Give it some protection, make it a little beefier, and do some fun stuff with it. It is strong. Broker's Charm and Riveteer's Charm, so we have a little protection, a little token destruction, etc., etc. This is not a powerful deck. This is Super Friends! And I wanted to play it, so let's do it. Okay, what do we got here? We're going to try to get all the things out for free, so let's get our guy out as Sapriel. Let's actually go, I don't mind here, maybe we get a red or a green drop. Or both. I'll take both. Both's nice. All right, let's go here. Dropping them cards like it's hot. There's Ho Daddy, and we're up to our first. Look at that, already. Fancy pantsy. And blocking their creature for 1. Very nice to get another one, but hey, I'll take it. Let's go ahead and get our cheapy ones out here first. Go ahead and do our first ability. We're going to go here and here because we want to get Koth up to as big as possible, as quickly as possible. So we like the conversion on those too because it might get us some loyalty gains. All right, let's go here. So maybe we get a white drop. Oh, but we'll take a loyalty. No more moves. Don't you hate when the board reshuffles and it gives them like a 5 or like a stupid, amazing, great swap? Didn't happen that time, but happens more often than I care for it. All right, let's go. Oh, right here. Yeah, let's go here, get up to our first again. Great, now we get the stuff for free. What a cascade. What a cascade, look at that. Look at that beefiness. I am up to my 3rd, but I don't have anything on the board, right? So right now would be a good time to wipe the board, and I can't because I don't have any things on the board that I need to get it done. So let's go ahead and, let's scoot you because you're not gonna cast anyways. Let's go ahead and do our first. I guess we'll take Kaito. But I also want to get him on the board, so let's get him on the board hard style. Let's go here. Boom. Up to our first again. Super Friends! Now we can use our 3rd. We gain some loyalty, and it's all the way back up to 15. I like that. That 3rd ability is pretty cheap. If you do some loyalty ramp, you get up there and you can use it fairly quickly. Let's see if I can actually use it on this next turn to get some significance down. The challenge with the weird detective, though, is because he does so little damage unless you're buffing him. It's not enough to like stop, typically, Pajani from being able to overcome that with his weight. Let's go ahead and do -2 to give him the loyalties and the gains. Let's do +2 here, boom. Let's go here. We're going to do +1. Can't attack, can't block. We'll do that to you. We're going to do a Coffee Boy, get some red conversion up. And we're going to go with our third. Boom. And why didn't that deal damage? Why didn't that deal damage? Your non-simple toe supports gain 4 shield is going to yada yada yada. Deal X damage to each opposing creature. X is the sum of the shields of all the supports you control. You may activate Vanguard. So Vanguard supports don't count as Destructo Force there? That don't make no sense.
Oh, Daddy.
Let's just go ahead and get rid of everybody. How about that? How about that? How about that's just oppressive right there? Yeah, let's just get rid of all of that business. We don't need any shenanigans here, my friends. No shenanigans. Let's actually power this up. Let's go ahead and go here again with Koth. See if we get some red match. We didn't. Ditch you. Let's go draw another card. We need Tamio, so let's go find some Tammies. Tamamis, there she is. And, I mean, we can, whatever, doesn't matter. Let's do, oh yeah, let's get a drone. What are we doing? Get a drone. Boom. Dronesville. You know what we don't have in here is Tyvar. Black-green, that's why he's not in here. We could run the other support that does it. All right, there's some more loyalty gain. We're up to our first again. Let's go, baby. Super Friends time. Super Friends time. Gained 6 life, destroyed some stuff. Can't attack, can't block. That's going to be difficult. Let's see here. So let's go ahead and make a match. Let's go ahead and give our guys all of the stuff. Let's do another drone here. We don't mind. Let's make room in hand. Let's go. We want you out, Tammy. Tamami.
Oh, Daddy.
Let's get a draw here. That's good. Just get rid of some of their stuff. Oh, actually, did I do this? I didn't do this yet. What am I doing? Is there 2 spells? Yeah, get rid of that. We don't need that. We're going to do this. Boom, boom. Actually, we didn't need that. Let's go both of these. Wink, wink. Free stuff. Guess here. Get some life back. Ah, it's a good drop. Well done, RNG. Great. So there goes that guy. That's fine. He was our big mana gainer, or our loyalty gainer, but that's okay. We're going to get another one here. Ah, he's back up to 30. He's full health again. Oh, no, you destroyed one of my vanguards. What will I do? Oh. All right, so let's go ahead and just get rid of that. Anything else you got? Let's go here, draw a card, get rid of all your stuff. Let's go ahead and give my guy lifelink and beautiness. Let's go ahead and do some more red match. And we're going to go here. Boom. Well done, and we're up to full health. Now we can start ranking the board. Let's see what we can do to actually make this go. Oh, I know what we can do. We use our secondary ability. Let's do that. Let's do that all day long. Let's get rid of that. Tamio first, because she gets ones without mana, and you can discard that because you don't need it. Boom, you don't need it. So ditch that. Go ahead and then do Fairy, which is draw. We don't need more Carney Boy. We got plenty of super fun now. And then we're going to go more Koth. Oh, he destroyed Kaido. That's what it was. And we can destroy that. That's fine. That's fine. And there we go. Got a beefier beefy. We draw a card. Take more stuff off the board. Woink, yoink, spoink. Good stuff. All right, now that Tamio is above 7, we start to get all of the free stuff on the board, and now it's just game over, right? It's just GG. We don't have any haste. I would probably add some haste to this. Yeah, we could go here. Boink. So they have nothing in the board. We're in a dominant position. Over the top would be a good addition to this. Probably take out a couple of the super friends and throw them in there. Really, the super friends you need: Koth, Tamio, Hodaddy, and then you go from there. The Weird is a very important detective to have on the board because he gives you a lot of your loyalty. Now we can do our secondary ability and actually finish the game. He's actually kind of the conduit to get it done. I will say this, with any of the walkers that are out right now, especially ones that have powerful first and secondary and third abilities like this guy has, it's very important you're actually ramping up into your loyalty abilities as quickly as possible. Take a look at the Wizard here in just a second. All right, so Red Wizard, 7, it's a 1/2, as you know. Creature Detective Wizard, activate 2 red. You saw this. This is what they look like. I don't know why they have them vampires. They look like vampires. They're not. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't know why they are. But they are. So let's just not fight it and let's enjoy it. And this should be game. We're going to do our secondary ability again. Get all the creatures on the board. And we're going to make a red conversion here. There it is. So now what we can do is just match this. I know it's not an optimal build, but now the board converts like crazy. And you know what I really love about winning with Koth the way that it is that usually when it goes off, it just keeps winning. It keeps going after him. You can see how that's a very dominant turn win. Koth Vanguard. Koth Vanguard. Nalthazar. The Vanguard. Not the Walker. No, don't put words in my mouth. The Vanguard is very powerful with his secondary ability. And in fact, this was, again, a jank play, Super Friends. Let me show you one that focuses a little bit more on those secondary tokens, shall we? Let's get to it. Okay, so I'm not going to spotlight this build, but I am going to show it to you. This is basically the Super Friends as I refined it and actually made it 4 supports. Really, you don't even need the Hada in there. You just need these 3. They're the Super Friends that need to be in there. Molten Collapse, Broker's Charm, Steam Core, Scholar, as you saw, it's very important. And then the other 2 here that are kind of workarounds for over Steam Core is Assemble the Players and Connecting the Dots. Very powerful cards, and of course, you know I love Sunken Citadel. That's a look at the deck. Click, click. That's what I would normally run, and this is a Peasant build. This is really good, but let's not just focus on that. Let's actually talk about another build that really goes hard. Again, Assemble the Players to come through. Leyland of the Guild Pact, you know I love me some of that. Tamio, Koth. We're using Faithbound Judge as our enabler for conversion, and really it's Healer of the Prides. We're going to show you how to be able to use that. And Aurelia's Vindicator is absolutely a powerful card. Big score to put stuff in the yard. Oh, there's Daddy. And then Knowledge is Power. We're going to draw and get this thing to steam up very quickly. Click, click. All right, let's show you what this deck actually does. All right, so let's see here. Knowledge is Power. We're going to go ahead and big score our way into... Actually, you know what? We're going to ditch Knowledge is Power because we don't need it right now. Let's actually hold on to big score. Let's go here. Boom. Some nice conversion, loyalty, drop that like it's hot, grab the card we actually want to drop in the yard, and we're off to the races, my friend, every single turn. Gain some loyalty mana, it's exciting and new. Come aboard, we're expecting you. All right, so there's a 5 match for us. We're going to get Mommy on the board, Tamami. We're going to go ahead and use our first here. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ditch Teferi, I'm going to ditch Assemble, and I am going to work on getting these guys out, the Red Wizards out. And the reason for that is I'm going to Tammy, there he is. I'm going to go ahead, I need a white match, there it is. I'm going to go ahead and make a white match here, boom. That does 2 things. Number 1, it gets my token on the board from Judgment, Sinner's Judgment, and it also levels up my Aurelia's. Now, here's the thing with Aurelia. Everybody was kind of initially, the Vindicator AV, we were thinking, oh, okay, cool. It makes sense to have that creature in hand and get it up to like 5 or 6. You only get 2 cards. It puts more cards in hand, but it's only the last 2 that get the mana anyway, so you just need 2. You don't need to get it any higher than that, honestly. Honestly. All right, so I'm going to double up this guy. I'm going to Tamio. I want to get her as buffy as possible. There, that's actually what we wanted out here. We are going to pop them like they're hot here, get a ton of conversion, nuke the board. There we go. Dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria. We love it. Just keep them coming. Keep them coming. Just keep them coming. All right, so we're in a pretty dominant position here. This is really, I think, one of the best ways to play with Guff, as far as I've seen. I love Healer of the Pride because, especially against another token creator, look at it, Pajani's super strong right now still, but he's going to be dead right now. We want Knowledge's Power out as quickly as possible. We're going to Hodaddy, get that on the board. We're going to Tamio, Tamami, and we're going to get this out on the board as quickly as possible. That back there just in case they make me discard something. Now, what we want to do is this. So we're going to go ahead and do our secondary ability, and because Healer's on the board, every time it goes in there, we're going to max our life out first, and then we're just going to convert the top 3 sections of our the board into pure white life-gaining gems that fill our hand with mana. And yeah, that's just Purda. The only thing it won't convert is loyalty gems and anything that's enhanced. So you can see that there's that 1 loyalty there, and I still have a 5 swap available for myself if I want it. I do want to get this out. Is there anything else I can do? What are you? That's Sinner's Judgment. We don't want to get that destroyed. But it is what it is. It's fine. It served its purpose. And we have everything on the board that we're looking for. Can I make a red match? I don't think so. So let's go ahead and... Fine. Okay, so we're doing the damage. You see, watch Aurelia. She attacks. We draw 2 cards. They gain full mana out of my exile. So we want to put stuff into our exile. And you'll note that the synergy here is I dump Judgment, Faithbound Judge, into the graveyard. I exile him by making a white match. And Aurelia will bring him back into hand. There we go. That's pretty. That is pretty. All right, let's go ahead and do...
Oh, Daddy.
First area ability. If we need to, defense-wise, we can do that. Oh, this is fun. Let's do this. They're all white, so let's destroy a bunch of white stuff. It's fine if we destroy our own. It's okay. It's not that big a deal. Right, and then we go ahead and do Tamamio. Oh, yeah, and the Knowledge's Power is powering us up, and we can put these all on the board, and we can put this in exile. We didn't even use Koth, right? Like, we didn't even need Koth, but we could do it if we wanted to. We have a lot of support, so let's go ahead and do Titan's Might. Let's get all of our stuff up. Boom, boom. Now they're doing damage, so I think it doesn't count with Vanguards only. It has to actually have supports, and it did 20 damage, which I have 6, 14. It should have done more than that. I got 6 shield here, 6 shield here, 8 shield here. That's 24. It should have done 24 damage. Let's go look at the battle log here real quick. And maybe it did. It just only showed what it actually, the power it took. 20 damage, 20 damage. It only showed 20. 20. Oh, is that a max of 20? That's what it is. It's a max of 20. That's right. So it is the supports, not Vanguards, which is kind of goofy. Is there anything else you have on the board now? All right. So we're going to go ahead and just power that up because we don't really need to use our other stuff. And we can do this again so we can get everything super big. Now remember, I want to make room in hand. So I'm going to go ahead and ditch Assemble the Players. I'm going to ditch Knowledge's Power because I want 2 cards with full mana from what I'm going to be casting. Let's just go here. It's fine. Just more loyalty. Right, because we won't have Sinner's Judgment on the next turn. But she'll get us 2 cards in hand that do have full mana. Thank you, Vindy. And it's pretty much game. I mean, what are they going to do, right? Wipe the board? Oh, no. And that's how it goes. So you keep yourself a full life. You do all the things you want to. You don't need real Koth for this, although it's there as an alternate backup win con. You have control with Hodaddy and Tamamio and full mana. So you're able to do all the things that you want to with this, and that's essentially how it goes. All right, let's get on. Let's get on with it. Boom, boom. Bang, bang. That's how it goes. Commodore Guff, ladies and gentlemen. Commodore Guff. Well, the build, really. But those tokens are no joke. Those tokens, those wizard tokens are no joke. They're absolutely powerful. Let's give my final thoughts on the walker. So, Commander Guff, or Commodore, I keep calling him Commander. It's Commodore Guff, like Commodore 64. Remember those? Are you old enough to remember those? Oof, it's like Pong on a paddleboard. Good Lord. All right, so 113 life, great life total. Meddling with Fate is a really solid ability. 10 loyalty is a little expensive, but you get 2 cards of your choice from it. That's not too bad. Rawl is better, obviously, because it gives mana and draws the card that you need. Karn is a little bit better because it improves your mana gains, but if you're running Sunken Citadel with this, obviously you're getting the higher mana gains along with it. I didn't demonstrate that, but I showed you the build as well. And yeah, that's a very solid first ability at 10. The crazy thing about these abilities is the first ability, as well as it's good, it's really good, but when I get to the first, I've got my third. The secondary ability too, the real question is for 2 extra loyalty, you're probably going to get those right at the same time. Do you do the first or do you do the second? Well, it depends on the focus of your build. Again, like I demonstrated beforehand, if the focus of your build is to go get all of the Super Friends out for free, which is novel, then you're going to concentrate on that. Realistically, in combat and actual tournament play, which you can do, that secondary ability is really where you're going to be going after, especially if you're playing a Healer of the Pride build or something that focuses on tokens and powers them up. Something like the Serpentine's Ambush or something like that that actually gets those guys bigger power. There's a lot of different dynamic ways you can play with these abilities. The first is kind of janky and helpful in the beginning if that's what you're up to, but is it worth waiting an extra turn to get 2 more loyalty to put those red wizards on the board and have a chance at getting that conversion that you want? I opt for the second one, but it is what it is. Both can help you out in a pinch. The secondary ability now, those 8 wizards, something else I want to talk about with it here. It's only activate 2. And as I looked right now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't see anything in standard right now that allows you to pop activated gems. I did a search quickly on activated gems. There's a couple of creatures that are +1'd by activated gems, and I tried playing with them. They weren't powerful enough. They weren't fast enough. They were way too slow. What I would focus on is making sure those red wizards themselves are hitting the board, doing the conversion with Koth. If you've got the Koth Vanguard,
Boo! Koth sucks!
who's really good, the Vanguard, you can use that as your win con, and it's solid. It does a really, really excellent job. However, it is something that is hard to trigger those. I found myself in many match trying to find ways to match those red ones and just not getting enough red conversion. The other side is to go lean into the lands that do the red conversion specifically for you. Yes, you can do that. There are a couple that are actually really good. Brass's Tunneler, I think, is fantastic on the flip side, both into getting in the yard and on the board, getting mana into the hand. It's just a powerful card. Man, I love that card. That card is so good, underutilized. I didn't spotlight it here because it's going to be in many of my builds that you're going to be seeing in the future. And then finally, Titan's Might. It does damage to your opponent, but only for supports, not for vanguards. That kind of sucks. It's nice to get the shields on the vanguards so that you can pony up into your Tamiyo's ultimate ability or to your Daddy removal, so it kind of doesn't matter. You can just do it. In fact, you can draw a card, gain the mana, use your third, and then exile everything with your Daddy ult. That's great. It's kind of irrelevant. You don't need to worry about it. But it's still one of those things where I'd like it to do the dad, but it's kind of complaining over nothing. It's a really solid ability. And at 15, what are you talking about? That's a super cheap cost. And as you saw with the weird detective, what is it, the Stormcaller, as well as the standard practices of Sigarda, Host of Herons, or with Faithbound Judge, of course, the staple. And then the other ones, too. There's Leave No Witnesses. Oh, and Wish, of course, the Wish spell. Notice I didn't use that. I'm assuming my compatriots are going to be using the OP spells. I just wanted to have some fun with this guy. I really like this walker a lot. The mana gains are solid. Obviously, these mana gains, why they're significant is this is the best tricolor walker mana gain bonuses. You have Bolas, Dragon God. You have Dakon, obviously, top tier. Lord Skibbity Pat. And now you have Commodore Guff. So you have all colors covered in a tricolor walker with those mana gains. And a lot of them rely on tokens, interestingly enough. Who's the best tricolor walker still? It's not even close, dude. It's still Dakin. Commodore Guff is good. Don't get me wrong. He's really, really good. What's my ranking with him? He's absolutely an S-tier walker. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that he isn't. Just his color combinations and his mana gains alone do incredible things. His first ability is good for you to be able to just get, you don't have to get Vanguards. You can pull whatever card you want into hand, and that's a solid ability. For 10, it's a little bit higher than I like, but it is still functional. And that third ability, Titan's Might, if you build around it, it can be very effective. But the secondary creatures are really where it's at. That secondary is really the most powerful thing about him. And I think that that's what you build around, and that becomes a solid walker for you. So anything that requires you to have token creation or any of that kind of thing, or summon X number of creatures, you can do spell builds, just complete spell builds out of this, and not have any creatures. You can go creatureless and still be able to meet the objectives with it, which I think is pretty fantastic in and of itself. But to answer the real question, is he better than Narset? And the answer to that is, I have to say, unfortunately, yes. And the reason is simply just because of the mana gains. Yeah, I'll concede he's better than Narset. If you are a newer player, mid-tier player, and you're looking to get you're trying to decide between Narset and Commodore Guff, go Guff. I think he's going to be a better walker for you. I prefer Narset. And the reason is because in this meta right now, everything's really support focused, and her secondary synergizes so well with the cards that are in standard right now that I prefer her over him. But that may change. The more I play with him, the more I may wind up liking him and just get used to him. And here's my disclaimer for any early reviews I give of Planeswalkers just as they drop. My initial take on them is always lower than where I end up with them. Well, not always. Many times I actually wind up ranking them lower, but the ones that I do wind up liking, like Teferi L. Jackson, absolutely an S-tier Planeswalker in my opinion, just because of that first ability alone. It's ridiculous. Being completely honest about it all, Commodore Guff, I think, is a better walker. So that said, my friends, I appreciate you. I know you could be anywhere in the world, chose to spend this time with me here. It is appreciated. Like, subscribe, get into the Discord, and as always, my friends, until our next quest, did you get them already? Did you pick them up? What do you think? Give me your thoughts. Get in the Discord. Until our next quest, swords up. What's very interesting is when you get to 10, or when you get to your... You want some elotes? My dude's feeling horny out there. Can you hear that? Why are you so horny? Doofus. All right. So, get to the first. I've got my third for the most part. It's only 5 different. Come on, dude.
Oh, daddy.